Hold up. Where they at? Oh, no, they beefing. They beefing. They... Okay. Oh, no, you flying away, you flying away. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Hold up. Let NATO stop. Let NATO get it together. I don't know what NATO's got going on here. NATO's running through the park with me. It's such a beautiful day today. All right. Hey. Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nova and I am the Soul's Child. And I make videos on all about being a human and, you know, how to rock out this human experience in relation to me, and always my interpretation of the situation, or my observation of the situation, or my analysis, whatever you want to call it. It's all from my point of view, but all of them come from a place of ultimately wanting to help you be a better human and rock out and really enjoy this human experience and have fun, you know what I'm saying? So today, let's get into it, yeah. On June 2000, on June 24th, 2022, hold up, they riding through the park, y'all. I'm in the park. On June 24th, 2022, the U.S. Supreme Court voted to overturn a very historical constitutional right, and that right is Roe versus Wade. Now, in 1973, Roe versus Wade was put in place after a series of events of unwanted pregnancies that had started to come about from unreasonable situations. And a young lady by the name of Jane Roe, that is not her real name, but that's what she goes under, was petitioned the courts because she wanted to have an abortion from this unfortunate situation that had happened to her, and she was in the state of Texas, I believe, and they didn't grant her, she couldn't get access to a safe abortion because of crazy laws that they had. So it spiked this movement across the country in the 70s for women's rights. Okay, and fast forward 50 years later, that has now been overturned. So in a sense, what happens with Roe versus Wade, it restricts your access or your rights to a fair abortion, medically speaking, fair medical abortion. So, you know, for you to get care, you know, whether if you're pregnant with a stillborn, those stories are real. If you were raped, unfortunately, if there's cases of incest, okay, or just, you know, all in all, unintentional, unplanned pregnancy that you are not ready to take care of, those rights are being overturned. Now, the good news is that all of our states are able to govern themselves on a state government level. So there are states who still have laws in place protecting your rights to a medical abortion, and yes, you still can. One of those states, and I'm going to make sure I do my due diligence and link down below what states are still basically allowing the procedure to proceed. So that sparked my inspiration to come and talk to you today and make this video. I found that in my situation, when I had a oops back in 2017, I could have greatly benefited from learning and knowing my body and knowing when I was fertile and when I was within that window and what to do, you know, instead of having to kind of go through that traumatic event. It was pretty traumatic, but still I kept it real copacetic, real, you know, under the radar there. So I was very grateful that I had access to that care that I needed at that time to get what I needed done, because I knew in my heart of hearts that I was not ready to be a mother at that time, and I knew that I would not only fail myself, I would fail that new individual that is trying to come through me at the time. And I just had to have a heart to heart and say, hey buddy, not right now. We can't. It's just no. Now I understand, and I know that that may not be the luxury or the case for some. For some, it might, like I said, it might have been a traumatic event. It might have been something that happened, or it could have just been a unintentional situation. Nevertheless, regardless, this video was placed on my heart, and I'm also following up with a blog post with a little more details. So today we're going to talk about our Aunt Flo. Yes, our periods. Our whole reproductive system. I'm going to try my best to give it to you as straight as possible, so that when you leave this video, you kind of got you have an idea of when you're fertile, what's going on down there, and when to back off, when to use protection, and when to use emergency contraceptive. And yes, I will give you my favorite tried and true natural emergency contraceptive. I will show that to you, and how to use your own natural contraceptive, not an actual birth control, but a method that I have been using now for about 8 months to track my cycle, and therefore kind of keep myself in the clear. So let's get into it. The menstrual cycle. It happens every 28 days. Alright, now in the perfect world, that's what they quantitate it down to. Now, to be honest with you, most cycles, most women could be 26 days, 27 days, maybe even 25 days on the shorter end of the stick. You might be on the longer end of the stick with 30 days to 32 days, and yes, that is possible. But regardless of that, you still cycle. You're always cycling. So I want to share that with you, my friend. Day one that you see ketchup in your pants is day one of a new cycle, all the way up until the last day that there's, up until the day before that there's no more blood. Wait, y'all get it? Y'all get what I just said? Let me say it again. Day one, when you start bleeding, is day one, and then the day before that is like day 27 or day 26, so the end of that cycle. So the cycle restarts every time you start bleeding again. So you're always on your cycle. You're always in your cycle. It's not just limited to those days that you're bleeding. You're always in your cycle. So remember that. And so going forward, that is the menstrual phase of the cycle, which is happening within the follicular phase. Now, like I said, the menstrual cycle is broken down into 28 days, and then from there is 14 days. The follicular phase lasts for 14 days, and then the luteal phase. So no matter if you're a 26-day gal, a 30-day gal, a 25-day gal, the luteal phase will always be 14 days. In the luteal phase, I'm going to get to that in a second and what's happening in the luteal phase. But I want to talk about where all the action really goes down in the follicular phase, okay? All right? This is where all the action is going down for him. All right, so Pete, check me out. The follicular phase is phase one, and then there's phase two, luteal. But within follicular, you have menstruation and ovulation that happens. So menstruation is what happens days 1 to 6. Okay, so that's when ketchup's in your pants. The endometrium is shedding its lining, and via blood and all the tissues from the broken down egg that did not get fertilized that month. All right, so that's what's happening in the menstrual and the follicular phase. But also it's double time, because what's also happening is the body is gearing up, it's getting ready to push out another mature egg that needs to be fertilized, or that will be out there, on the prowl. Okay. And where this egg comes from, it comes from those little fluid-filled sacs that you see down there on your uterus, those fallopian tubes and your ovaries. The eggs are inside of there. They're in the ovaries. I hope I know how to put pictures in, but if I'm not, it's your uterus. It's a T, and the ovaries are the two right here, basically like our balls, for lack of better words, los ovarios. Those are feminine balls. Remember, ours are just inside. So those are your ovaries, those two circles, and they hold together through the fallopian tubes and all of that. the uterus, vagina. So yes, menstrual phase. So that is happening, and then after the menstrual phase, that is when your hormones are starting to pick themselves back up. Estrogen is starting to creep back up because, again, the body is now gearing up to release a new mature egg to be fertilized. What else is happening is your progesterone levels are spiking up as well. So when you really get to a point, really after you stop bleeding, you notice that your energy is up, you're happy, you're upbeat, and then like maybe 4 days after that, you're really happy, you're glowing. Yes, that's something to talk about, because when estrogen and is it progesterone and testosterone? I think it's progesterone, estrogen and progesterone. I remember I got the blog post, it got all the technicalities in it. But when those levels start to peak, estrogen, both estrogen and progesterone, that's ovulation. That's when we are glowing, right, ladies? That's when it's like, I feel pretty, and I feel pretty for any woman that is not me. Hallelujah. So that's when that's going down right there, right? So at that point, you're up because the energy, your body is emitting all these good hormones, and then that's when men notice you a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's when you in heat, right? You in heat, and this happens really about, like I said, about 4 days after the last day that you were bleeding. Ovulation occurs between day 6, no, it is day 7 to day 14 of the cycle. All right, so you have a fertility window really of about 5 days. It's about 4 days before when the body is getting ready. So again, when those levels are spiked, when the estrogen and progesterone and all of those hormones are at their highest, and is preparing to release the egg, because the egg release only happens at one time in the cycle, right? And then you're fertile 24 hours after that phase. So it is all in all really like a good 5 days. So if you and Johnny hang out anytime between there, and Johnny let his water hose loose anytime in between there, right? And Johnny's water happens to still be lingering around down there in your system when they release the egg, when they do what they just supposed to be doing, okay, then ding ding ding, you know what's happening, right, friend? All right, now your body's going to start creating HCG to support the growth of that embryo. And then that's what they get when they test you in the pregnancy test and the blood test, and they say they're running looking for the HCG. That is the hormone that lets you know that the embryo is present and that the body is building up down there. All right, so let's talk about what happens after the egg is released and it has not been fertilized, and well, business as usual. Well, the egg, you got 24 hours, right? So after the big event when all your hormones spike and the egg release, it's only viable for 24 hours. So remember, if the water is still present and his water attacks it, that's it. You're done deal, friend. That's it. You're out the game. But if the water does not get to it, and you didn't, you know, have any hanky-panky or whatever, then what then begins to happen, you now start to enter into the luteal phase, right? So now the egg has been released and your estrogen levels start to go down. Your progesterone levels, they start to kind of dip as well. Now you notice that this end of the cycle, this phase of the cycle is when you start to chill out, you know, you start to relax, you kind of want to eat comfort foods, you know, you don't go so hard on your workouts, you know, because you don't have that extra boost of peak life force energy in you anymore because it's been released. So now you're kind of, you know, dwindling down, you know, you might get a little moody, and why you holding on to him like that? I've never seen birds hold on to each other like this, but this bird is really holding on to this bird as they walk across the park. Look. Try to see. Y'all see it over there? Oh, look, look, look. Look. Y'all think they fighting? Hold up. Where they at? Oh, no, they beefing. They beefing. They beefing. I think it's his girl. Oh. Okay. Oh, no, he flying away. He flying away. All right, where was I? Yeah, your mood's dropping. But it's kind of obvious where I'm at in my cycle right now. Actually, yeah, I am. I'm actually around day 10 right now. So I'm chilling. I'm happy. And yeah, so moods are dropping. You want to chill out. You want to relax. This is now you're going into the luteal phase. And the body is like, oh, well, we wasn't fertilized. So you kind of go back to normal, for lack of better words. You know, the glow starts to dim. They take away the goodness. Since you ain't want to get fertilized, they take away the goodies. Since you ain't want to reproduce, I'm gonna go ahead and take the glow. But honey, you can't take my glow, boo, because I'm always going, baby. Better ask somebody. Yeah, so once then, now your hormones are beginning to drop. They're kind of returning to regular scheduled programming there. And what else is happening? The body is now gearing up to break down that endometrium lining in the uterus that was there, that it was building up to possibly protect or help encourage the implantation of a new embryo. It's now starting to break that down. So again, that's why hormone levels are going down. Things are chilling out. Now you may start to feel little slight cramps, things like that. It's very, very minor, very slight. You usually probably don't even notice them if you're not paying attention to them. Yes. So then things start to dwindle down. Now we're in the luteal phase and we're chilling. You know, we just chilling. We kicking back. We taking it easy. This is really a time in your life to work on not any new projects or anything new. This would really be the time to revise things or work on things that are already working. So if you're an entrepreneur, this is the time to not create really any new content. I wouldn't say, but not nothing crazy new, right? You should have did that in the ovulation and follicle phase, because that's when you have that new energy floating in you. Right now, again, this is the time to tend to what's already working. So you already got system in place. So you already got email lists going. So start nurturing and talking to them. You kind of tapping into the nurture and start nurturing yourself. This is what that time is for, as we're leading up into the next cycle. So the luteal phase, it lasts about 14 days, and then from there, the cycle restarts. That's really what happens. The body gears up, hormones spike a little bit because your boobs starts to get a little heavy, minor cramps and things like that, and then catch up in your pants again and starts all over. So that is the menstrual cycle. That is your aunt flow. All right, I want to share with you some natural contraceptives. All right, what I use personally, and how to track your cycle. So first part, how to track your cycle is easy. I gave you the key. Day 1 is the first day you see the ketchup in your pants. That's day 1. So all you gotta do, either journal or auditory. I can't speak to auditory because I don't do that. Whatever. I don't do auditory. I journal every day. So it's a good way to connect with yourself and check in with yourself, right? So you would just start your day just like this. I do not have my main journal out here with me, but I have a journal with me. So today it's a good grounding exercise too, labeling out the day. July 13th, 2022. Cycle. Let me put it right here. Cycle day 10. right? So, you see that? See that? Just like that. Just like that. Real easy, girlfriend. Swear, like, it's not that hard. And every day, when you get a chance, preferably when you wake up in the morning, just remember, jot it down and talk about how you feel. Today I'm feeling, and you can just say okay, happy, glad, excited, hopeful, chill, leave me the fuck alone, you know, anything. Seriously, anything. It's your journal, it's your life, girl. Reflect on your life. You don't gotta perform for nobody, it's just you. Alright? So write that down. Cycle, day, whatever, and keep going, right? And as you develop this practice, you will begin to maybe look back over your journal entries, and you can tell, you'll be able to know when energy is peaking and when ovulation is there, because you'll just notice in your writings, you know, like, and you'll notice towards the end of your cycle. Like for me personally, towards the end of my cycle, my journal entries get real skimp. I'll be like, all right, whatever, I'm here. Towards the middle, towards like right now, towards these periods in the thick of it, I got a lot to say, because I got a lot of energy and I got a lot going on, boy. I got a lot to say. I mean, there's a lot of writings on this side, you know, and there's writings on this side, right? I got a lot to say right now. I got a lot of energy. But towards day 22, day 23, I just want a big plate of nachos and a Netflix show. If I could. So that right there is how you track your cycle, and the natural contraceptive method that I prefer is to pull out and pray, my love. I'm playing, alright. That's number 2. Number 1 is neem oil. Yes, so neem oil. How you use neem oil is this. It's very easy. After the act, you have up until 24 hours, okay? Because neem will attack Johnny's water particles. Alright, what you do is now you could do it before the act too, but neem got this smell. I'm gonna be honest with you, that throw the whole, it just killed the vibe. I'm gonna be honest with you, you don't even want to do nothing. And there's actually neem spermicide on the market. I actually just have neem oil. So what you do is, ladies, you gonna get you a tampon, keep you some on deck, put a little bit of water on it. Don't push it out just yet, just kind of like roll it around, and put the oil on top on the applicator. Put it, make sure it gets on the actual tampon, and go ahead and insert it after the act to make sure that the guys there take care of themselves. The next best contraceptive that I do know of, but I do not personally have personal experience with it, is papaya seeds. You can eat papaya seeds. You can eat them to induce a certain something, but I'm not gonna go there. But you can also eat them as a contraceptive. They do kind of get you infertile for a few months. And same thing with neem oil. If you use neem oil regularly, it will kind of create a barrier, if you would, down there. And it will, like I said, don't be scared when I say infertile. It's not going to render you infertile for the rest of your life. No, just for about 3-4 months. Neem is really good. Neem is really, 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 really good. Somebody's vibrating. 1 second, y'all. It's Fran. So I knew it was Fran. So yeah, yeah. I'm about to send a picture. I'm gonna send a picture. Hold on, yeah. Wait, where I just put my phone? Yeah. Send them. He interrupted my filming. So yeah, neem oil, that's one that I personally use. I also have neem powder capsules that I've taken, and that is, like I said, the way that I was talking about building up that barrier. You can continuously take neem in the powder form. So yeah, that is the menstrual phases. That is your Aunt Flo. Yeah, that's about it. That's all your girl got for you today. Remember, use the neem oil up to 24 hours. They can kill, and they kill Johnny's water particles on site. I want y'all to know that. They kill them on site. That's why we use it. And then tracking your cycle. And if you want, you can put a little star by the days that you're feeling those big spikes in your energy, and the days that you feel you might be in ovulation. Remember, it's a luteal phase is always going to be 14 days no matter what. But if you have a shorter cycle, that just means the follicle phase might be a little shorter than the average again. So it might be 12 days or 10 days. You know what I'm saying? But luteal is always going to be 14 days. Alright? Alright. What else is good after the recap? Today is July 13, 2022, cycle day what? Cycle day 10. Alright? Remember that, ladies. Remember that. Journal it out. You can write it out. If you have virtual journals, you can write it out. But please, please, please remove your information from these apps. Please. That's all I'm going to say on that one. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I love that you stayed to the end. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.